Do you know that feeling when you're standing in your kitchen as the coffee pot overflows or the milk smells like sour plastic? That hard knot in your stomach while your jaw locks into place. It's the signal that your day has officially gone off the rails. You want the traffic to flow smoothly like a stream of clear water, yet the cars sit motionless as boulders while the clock steals your time away. The morning just doesn't want to go your way, so you label it a tragedy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what people mean when they talk about having problems. Challenges only show up when your desires hit a wall. They are shy that way. But if you step back for a moment to take a look at the bigger picture, you might realize that your massive, world-ending crisis is nothing more than background noise for the person walking past your window. Events themselves carry no weight and no color until you paint them with your own frustration. This heavy burden exists because conditioning taught you to sort every experience into little boxes labeled good or bad. Distress is the inconsistency between the way things are and the way you wish they were. Letting go of the idea that you are the boss of the universe allows the labels to peel off. Every complication is just a story your mind tells you when it loses a fight with reality. Many people nowadays live under the assumption that they are the ones steering this whole operation. Willpower feels like the engine keeping your life on the road. But take a good look at yourself right now. Does life really need your input, or are the most important parts running perfectly without any help from your conscious thoughts? The heart beats in a steady rhythm, and your lungs pull in air while you sleep. Yet you never have to worry about the work involved in those tasks. Existence moves through you like a river that flows toward the sea. The idea that you are the sole doer of your actions causes constant exhaustion. Think of Atlas carrying the heavy weight of the world. You worry that if you stop trying to control every outcome, your entire world will wither away into nothing. This fear is a ghost that keeps you locked in a cycle of stress. Society tells you that you must reach specific goals or fulfill high expectations to be a good member of the tribe. When you fail to hit those targets, you believe something terrible is happening. Your path is a pre-written story where every twist and turn has been carefully placed. Realizing that you are not the one in charge brings a sudden wave of relief. You can stop fighting the current because the universe is already carrying you exactly where you need to go. Think about this for a moment. It is an especially dark night, and you just heard a noise outside. So, you carefully open the door and step outside. And what do you spot on the floor? Some coiled shape. Instantly, a surge of adrenaline rushes through your veins, because the mind screams that a snake is waiting to strike, with absolute certainty. You might even feel a phantom sting against your ankle. But once the light hits the floor, the terrifying predator reveals itself as a simple piece of rope. The panic evaporates instantly. Your problems behave exactly like that rope. Society has conditioned you to believe your life must follow a specific path, yet there is no fixed track you are forced to walk. Markings of success or disaster are purely imaginary. You were taught that a healthy body and a full house are mandatory requirements for a meaningful existence. Definitions were handed to you like a heavy book of rules. Suppose on the next day, you return home in the evening to find your front door swinging open and your favorite belongings gone. The initial shock hits like a cold wave because your internal rulebook says your walls must always hold these specific objects. While the loss feels like a hole in the soul, the pain comes from the story of ownership being ripped away. The world is simply moving its parts around in a way that was decided long ago. Bitterness toward a thief or a reckless driver is a waste of energy that could be used for other things. Every event is part of a grand design that contains nothing inherently wrong. These outcomes are only ideas living in the mind. Grasping the fact that you are not the doer helps you move through these moments with a weird grace. Conditioning acts like deep grooves carved into the psyche by every past experience and ancient memory. Like old tire tracks in a muddy road, these imprints force your thoughts to follow the same bumpy path over and over. You see a problem because your mind is rolling through a pre-cut groove of fear. These imprints, or in other words, the baggage of the past, make the present moment look like a disaster. If you can step out of those tracks, the ground becomes smooth again. When a wave of anger or deep sadness hits you, what usually happens is you dive headfirst into the emotion without questioning who is actually drowning. You simply assume you are the victim. Pause to ask, who is actually noticing this heavy weight in the heart? That investigation reveals that the center of the storm is weirdly empty. The feeling of me always leads back to a source of pure awareness. By holding on to the sense of I and following it home, the distress begins to fade away until you find yourself bursting into laughter. Following the I to its origin shows that the ego is just a collection of old stories. Most of your suffering comes from trying to protect a ghost. Eventually the mask falls away and leaves only a bright presence. This world might continue to spin exactly as it always has, but you become like a landscape that watches the weather pass without being altered by the clouds. Recognize that the universe operates through a system of benevolence that is far larger than your personal desires. This intelligence is not a fuzzy emotion, but the very force that keeps the stars in their orbits and the seasons in their cycle. It is the ground you stand on. When you identify with this source, problems stop being solid walls and start being transparent shadows. You realize that you are far more than a separate person struggling against the world. You are the world itself, acting out a perfect play. Imagine a cinema screen during a high-stakes movie. Shadows of a bank robbery or a house fire flash across its surface, yet the fabric stays cool and white. The material remains dry as bone even when the characters on the film are weeping or shouting. Stillness allows the drama to unfold. Your true nature is exactly like that blank surface. Pictures of life might show tragedy and joy, yet they never leave a single scratch on the observer. Every flicker of light depends on the screen, which remains independent of the story. While the movie plays, you remain the unchanging screen. Let the events arrive and depart like clouds in a summer sky. Trust the intelligence that runs the stars and the seasons. This same brilliance is living your life right now. You can finally enjoy the show without worrying about how it ends. Life is a self-moving masterpiece where you are both the light and the silence. If you feel drawn to move beyond just understanding these pointers intellectually, if you want to truly see for yourself what you already are, we've put together a structured digital retreat to help guide that deeper unfolding. It's designed to gently take you from conceptual glimpses into a more direct, lived recognition of your true nature. We use clear, straightforward guidance combined with guided meditations that invite you to rest in what's already here. You can find the full retreat linked in the description below. And if you prefer to listen without any music or background sound, we now offer audio-only versions of the newest videos, They're available exclusively on Patreon. Check the description for all the details and how to access them.